Today is November the 18th, 2024. This is Carmen bringing you your daily Bloodborne Remaster update. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today, no news on the emulator either, but gaming news. So, today the Game Awards announced the nominees for just about everything. Well, actually for everything, unless it's just about. They announced it for everything. And there is one giant controversy. We'll go ahead and get to it. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree got nominated for like 4 or 5 things, including Game of the Year. Okay, walk with me here. To play, assuming this wins, you can play 2024's Game of the Year by playing like 100 hours of 2022's Game of the Year, and being at a very high level and collecting all the sacred tears and golden seeds. It's because you're not gonna find. I don't think you find any in the DLC. Somehow. That made the list over things like Persona 3, which I don't think Persona 3 was different enough of a remake to make it anyway, but over Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade, Yakuza, that made it. Oh, I don't get it. And I know I've already seen like the Elden Ring tars is what we call them on this channel. I don't care if anybody gets offended by that word, whatever. Like those people would be like, people who have this weird, I would say like insecurity about liking Elden Ring, where they have to tell everyone how much better they think Elden Ring is than everything else. These people are like very, very happy about Elden Ring being nominated. However, these same people would be spurging non-stop if this was 2022 and Elden Ring didn't get nominated, but some DLC for a 2-year-old game did, right? These people would be spurging non-stop, and that's the problem. Now, as for the DLC, I've only played it once. I played it all the way through one time, and I enjoyed my time in that DLC. I really did. While I would say it was still lacking in content overall, the overall design of the world itself was very, very good. One of the best just like world map designs I've ever seen. Now, again, I think populating it with content was yet another issue, the same thing they struggled with in the base game. But overall, I think it was very good. The new weapons were very good. I liked all those new movesets. Some of the boss roster was pretty hit or miss. Mostly misses, some very big hits like Mesmer and Midra. But yeah, I just I look at it and I'm like, there's no excuse for this to be here. This is simply here so that way Jeff can, attempt to give FromSoft another Game of the Year. And I can't think of another studio that would get away with this besides FromSoft and probably Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog would get it. Like, if Naughty Dog released The Last of Us 2 DLC this year, that would get nominated as well. Guarantee it. But FromSoft and Naughty Dog are the only two I think could really get away with this. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, this is a From Software channel. Bloodborne and Sekiro and Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2 are some of my favorite games ever made. Okay? And I really loved my first playthrough of Elden Ring, and I loved my first playthrough of the DLC. But I'm here to say this is nonsense. There's no reason for it to be here, and anyone who says otherwise is lying to you. There is no excuse for it to be here. I don't care how big the DLC is. I don't care how long it is. I don't care what kind of a bias you have. There is no excuse at all for it to be here over Silent Hill 2, over Stellar Blade, over Yakuza, over any of these other games that could have made it. There's no excuse. Not one single excuse. And if this wins Game of the Year, people are going to be upset because most people are not happy with this. If Shadow of the Erdtree wins Game of the Year, this is going to be worse than when The Last of Us 2 won Game of the Year. This is going to be even worse. I don't think, I do not think that Jeff's band of idiots can, logically give it Game of the Year. There's no way. To me, this goes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth every day of the week. It's one of the best games I've ever played. But even not counting that, it's ridiculous that Shadow of the Erdtree is even here. All right, I don't want to rant about this for too much longer, but I'm just saying it's nonsense, okay? And if Bloodborne was to have come out with a new DLC this year, I would be saying the same exact thing if it got nominated. I'd be saying the same thing. There's no excuse for it to be here. Not 1. It's ridiculous, and it's just pure glazing. It is Jeff Keighley down on his knees, two-handed slurping Miyazaki to get, can I get that next new game reveal? Can I please get the next Souls game reveal, please? That's literally what he's doing. That's all this is. That's literally what this is. Anyways, I'll go ahead and get out of here. I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. It is nonsense, and if you think otherwise, you are wrong, and you seriously lack some critical thinking skills. If you really think there is any excuse whatsoever for this to be here, why not just make a separate DLC category? Not like there's any shortage of DLCs coming out every single year. There's dozens of them. There's no excuse. I think if you want to nominate it for best soundtrack, sure. You want to nominate it for best role playing, sure, whatever. I would still disagree with it. Best direction, sure, I would disagree with it. But game of the year, let me say that, game of the year. Sorry if that's very loud. I'm just saying, to play the game of the year, you have to have played almost the entirety of 2022's game of the year. It would be ridiculous. There's no way it wins. There's no way, and it is obscene that it is here. Anyways, rant over. I'm going to get out of here. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today. That's been your daily Bloodborne Remaster update for November the 18th, 2024.